The second thing you need in order to be divinely guided by God is to be willing to be led. Now, what I mean by this is that God is fully committed to leading you only if you are fully committed to being led. Because if you want God to divinely guide you, if you want to be led by God, then you can't rely on yourself. You can't rely on your own strength. Because in 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 9 it says, "He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail." What he means is that no man can prevail by his own strength, meaning that you can't prevail by your own strength. Things can't go well by your own strength, because with God, when you're being divinely led by God and you're walking in God's plan, there'll be ease and there'll be less sweat than if it's by your own strength. Because by strength shall no man prevail. You should also not do what you yourself as a man, human, think or feel is right. Because in Isaiah chapter 55 verse 9, it says, "For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." So what he's saying is, you don't know what you're going to do, you don't know what you're doing, but I do. So rely on me, not yourself, because I know what your destiny is. I know where you're going, because I know the end from the beginning, because I made everything. Everything is created for him, everything is created by him, and everything is created through him. So you shouldn't rely on your own self, because God's ways are higher than your ways and his thoughts higher than your thoughts. Another scripture that backs this up is Romans chapter 9 verse 20, and it says, "Nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against God? Shall the thing that has been created say to him that formed it, so shall man say to God, why hast thou made me thus? So why hast thou made me like this? Why have you made me like this? Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and the other unto dishonor?" What he's saying is that God created you, so he knows what you need. He knows what you need to do. So you can't argue with him and say, "Oh, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that?" Because it's all part of God's plan. God has held everything together in the future. So if you go off on your own, God is saying that he made you for this reason. You can't argue with God, for who is man to argue with God? God is even using you, and that is a privilege. So don't argue with what God has given you, but instead follow God. Don't rely on your own strength, but rely on God's strength, because in man's weakness, God remains strong.